it's Slow Homestead. I'm Carol, and a few years ago I got a sprinkling system. When I got it, the workers for some reason did not bury the electrical line very deep, and they didn't protect it with any encasing around it. And a couple of years ago I decided to plant a little garden in that same area where that wire was. Didn't know the wire was there, and I nicked it a little bit when I was digging. So I knew that I would have to eventually dig a trench and get that wire encased and protected if I wanted to do any type of yard work in that area. So yesterday I started digging a trench, and I thought, this is pretty good. I think I've got it pretty well done. And then I realized, no, I needed to put it down about a foot. So in case there was any tilling in that area, it wouldn't be disturbed. So today I need to go out there again and get that trench dug down to 1 foot. I'm just using my dandelion digger and a hand trowel, and the ground is fairly moist, and so it's not very hard digging. The lower that I got yesterday, the harder it seemed to be, but I think if I just use that dandelion digger again and get down there with it, that it will loosen the dirt just fine. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. And before I get my shoes on, I just wanted to show you a couple of things. I did get all my potatoes harvested, as you know, and they're right here. So this bucket full, I have all the little ones on top because I want to use them first. So it's the 5-gallon bucket, and there's the small ones on the top. As you go down, they get bigger and bigger until you're down to the ones that you want to bake and eat with sour cream and butter and all that yummy stuff. So I weighed my potatoes. I did end up with 40 pounds. Yay! That was not just this bucket, but the few that I harvested earlier in the season when I was just anxious and couldn't wait. So counting all of them that I harvested, it ended up being 40 pounds. And I thought, you know what, that's probably all that I need, unless for some reason I have to eat potatoes every day. So that was a good harvest. And let me tell you again, the name of the potato variety is Nicola, and they are the lowest on the glycemic index. And so if you're watching your carbohydrates and sugars, you might want to plant Nicola potatoes in your garden. I also purchased some Granny Smith apples from my friend who sold me all those peaches. And today I made some apple juice, and starting next Monday, in a couple of days, I will be bottling the rest of the apples. They're Granny Smith, and I've never seen any apples this big. So they must have had some kind of super fertilizer, I don't know what they had given to them, but I'll cook them well, and hopefully they'll be healthy for me. But here's a few of those apples. Pretty big, huh? So yeah, compared to if I was going to eat one, that's a big apple. So I have about 3/4 of this big box left full of apples. So I'm going to get my shoes on and then go out and start digging in my trench. It's about 64 out there today right now, which is practically perfect. So I'm not going to put a jacket on or anything because I'm going to be working up a little sweat probably. All I need are some gloves, my dandelion digger, and my trowel. All right, I am ready to go. So here's the place where I nicked the wire last year. Yeah, that doesn't look too great. My son's going to repair that, and he's going to get some conduit and encase this whole wire in conduit, and then we're gonna get that buried, and it goes clear back in there to where it goes into my sprinkling system box, and then it goes all the way down here, and then right over here is the edge of the garden, right there by the fence. And then after that it keeps going, and this area right here is a driveway area, so the trench doesn't have to be as deep because we won't be digging or tilling in this driveway area. And then it goes over there by the shed, underneath that ramp, and then under the ground again over there by that driveway. We're not going to bother with that, but this part especially right here is where it was necessary that we did some deeper trenching right along here. There we go. Couldn't find the trench. This little area right here is where I have had a couple of gardens, but last year when I nicked that wire, I thought, okay, something's got to be done. So this year, finally, now that it's fall, I'm having enough time to get that trench dug, get that taken care of, and then what I've decided to do was put up a little sign. Go around that pallet right there. Put up a little sign right here on this little garden area that says, "No till, no dig garden." And I think that will be a fun experiment to try, a no-till, no-dig garden. And it will also keep me away from that line forever. There's my peacock. He's a pretty boy. Yes, you are. You are a pretty boy. In the last few days, I have finished working on this little project I have right here. And what this is an old dresser, and it's just been kicking around for a few years. You know, I don't like to throw anything away, and so I thought, you know what, I need some more shelter in this chicken run for my chickens. And so I put 4 legs, 2x4s, 4 legs on this old dresser. Let's see if we can get down here and give you a look. Hope I don't sit in any you know what. Okay, so here it is underneath. So there's two sections there, the drawers went there, all right, and it kind of fell apart, but I couldn't throw this much of it away, of course, so put the legs on it, and now I have a shelter for the chickens to get under. There are certain parts of this run that are not as protected as other parts. We do have some wonderful trees, but I don't have the top of the run enclosed with chicken wire like we used to, because the chicken wire just catches limbs and branches, and then they're like almost impossible to clean out. And so these trees right here protect the chickens pretty well from flying predators like hawks. But there is this part near the coop that doesn't have the canopy of trees. So here's the roof of the coop, and there's this area here. So I thought, okay, what can I use for a shelter for these chickens? And I decided to use this, and it gives them just a little bit more shelter. And you can see that they've been underneath of it today, just having a good old time scratching around. So that's great. That's great. Now I have some renegade hens that you know about, because you saw them when I was doing the compost in my Big Dreams garden. And I have been able to catch, with the help of my grandson, 4 of them, and I've clipped their wings. So let's just go back here and see if there's any in the coop. This is the 3rd coop. There's their 3 nests. It looks like 2 hens have laid eggs in that far one, the one on the right. They don't use it very much, of course, because like I showed you before, they like to use this bucket right here, and 4 of them have laid on the ground. What I've been doing, starting yesterday actually, is I'm scooting this bucket just a couple inches, 2 or 3, 4 inches that way, and put those in there. I'm gradually going to scoot it so it's underneath of those 3 nests, and then I'm going to put one more single nest. I'm not sure where. I don't know if I should put it right there on top of that, or my original place that I wanted to put all the nests was over here in this area. So I'm not sure. We'll see. My squeaky door, I really did oil it, but it's squeaking again. There's a Tweety bird in there. I scared him out once. Looks like I need to come back later, and if I come out every hour and scare the Tweety birds away, maybe they'll get the idea. There is a hen. Come on, focus. All right, I'll just go in. I don't want to bother her, but I just want to show you. These are supposed to be my good layers from last year, but I've only been getting 2 eggs a day out of 17 hens. So they must be molting, taking a vacation. I don't know what their problem is. I assume the Tweety birds bother them, but I don't know how to get closer. But it's fun to look at the animals. I don't want to scare her. Yep. All right. Hopefully she's one of the 2 that are laying eggs for me. Except for those new hens. They're doing awesome. If it wasn't for them, I'd be hurting for eggs. Alright, that's where my cats eat. One of them is semi-tamed. There's 3 other wild ones that come and steal food. Okay, as you can see, fall is in the air. Thanks for going with me today as I dug a trench, or dug it deeper actually. See if I can carry everything I need to and go back in the house. It would be easier, I'm sure, to dig a trench with some kind of trenching machine, but I didn't have that. The ground was pretty good. In a couple of places it was a little bit hard, but for the most part it was soft enough to dig into it. Alright, so in my dark garage, which is amazing that with these cameras you can still see. They adjust really well to light and dark. Okay, I put my gloves away, I put my trowel away, my dandelion digger away. I'll take my tripod in the house and put that away. And then I am going to make some, you thought I was going to say I was going to bottle apples, but not yet. I'm going to make some barbecued meatballs out of turkey, ground turkey. And, oh dear, forgot something. I don't want to wear these shoes in the house, so I'll take those off. So I'm going to make some meatballs. We're celebrating Halloween this evening, which is Saturday. A lot of people still, doesn't matter what day of the week it is, they'll celebrate it on the 31st. But we have other things to do on Sunday, so we're celebrating Halloween tonight on Saturday. And I'm going to go over to my daughter's house and we're going to eat junk food. And I thought, I should take something sort of nutritious also. So I'm going to make some barbecued meatballs, and I'm excited about that, and so I'm going to get right on it. But if you like this video, if you learned something about digging a trench, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, make a comment. It's fun to read when people make comments, and share with your friends who like to dig trenches, or your friends who have chickens, or just your friends who don't do anything. That would be great. And remember that even when you take it slow, you can accomplish a lot. Have a great day.